Hello and welcome again here to ABA with Dr. D. This is Dr. D, your host from this series of videos we have for you. Today we're going to be talking about paired choice preference assessment, which is probably one of the most common types of preference assessment methods we utilize in the field. What we're going to be talking about is a couple things. We're going to look at the different steps to conducting the preference assessment of paired choice. We're also going to look at really quickly an example of the data sheet there and how it would basically be done, right, if you're doing this particular procedure. And at the very end, we'll have a video model. We'll get one of the video models that we currently have available for you. We're going to analyze that particular video model pertaining to paired choice preference assessment. So the idea here is to give you the full-on breakdown of paired choice preference assessment. Okay, so let's begin with this particular form that I have here. I want to give credit to the Vanderbilt University, who, to be honest with you, have a phenomenal tools and different types of items available for clinicians like myself and yourself, right, that's currently watching the video. So I highly encourage you to go into the Vanderbilt ABA department and look out some of their materials. We were able to use some of their stuff to be able to put some items together. So thank you so much, Vanderbilt University. You guys are phenomenal for being able to put these items together. So here, really quickly, we're going to look at the different steps that was specified. Here it says, before beginning, you should collect the following materials. So data collection sheet, 46 bite-sized edible items, or 46 toys. Now you and your child are ready to begin. So step 1 says, sit across from the child at a table or on the floor. So it's really going to depend on what you think is best for the child, where there's less likelihood for problem behaviors. Okay. Step 2, place items, 2 items, so item A and B, for example, on the table. If the child's unable to wait until your task direction to make a selection, block view of the items with a large book or clipboard. Okay. Step 3, lift the book or clipboard if you're blocking the child's view and give the task direction. Pick one, or which one do you want? Step 4, if the child reaches for both items, block access to the items and repeat the task direction. Pick one, or pick one for now. We'll pick another one next. If the child continues to make this error across several trials, you should consider conducting a single stimulus preference assessment or free observation. Step 5, allow the child to consume the edible item or play with the toy. Block access to the remaining item during this interim. Step 6, while the child is consuming the edible or playing with the toy, set up the next array of items according to your data sheet. So for instance, items A and C. Step 7, if you're using toys, allow the child to play with the toy 15 to 30 seconds and remove the toy in order to present the next array. If the next array includes the most recently selected item, alternate the side of the item in order to detect forced side bias. For every child, you will present 2 items according to your data sheet, and this may or may not include the toy the child most recently selected. And if the child refuses to make a selection, move to the next trial. And here it just says repeat steps 4 to 7 until the set number of trials is complete. If the child is unable to complete all trials, for example, starts making choices or engaging in problem behavior, the assessment may need to be completed as multiple sessions with fewer trials. Okay. Now here's a visual, once again, that's provided. So here they're just saying that, for example, child makes a selection here of this particular item. We basically keep the item that's not selected. We move it on to the opposite side. The child, once again, does not select this item here, so we move on to the opposite side. And you kind of see the trend there, how this particular procedure is implemented. So you just basically keep the item that's not being picked, and you just replace the item that's picked with the new item there. Okay. So I'm gonna go straight into the data sheet because the data sheet is very good. Actually, provides a really cool breakdown. Here, basically, you are gonna write down the items. So item A will be a push toy. Item B will be a spinner toy. Item C will be water wiggly. Item D says toy phone. And here you just basically have the people, the date, the child, and the teacher, who is Mrs. Weenie, and the child is Christopher Robin, one of my favorite characters out there. I love Winnie the Pooh. Here, basically, we have 6 trials that have already been outlined for you. They even provide, very concrete type of, way in which you're going to be presenting the items. So here, we're going to be presenting item A and B, okay, and then C and A, and so on and so forth, okay? So what you notice here is that they're keeping the item that's not being selected and moving on to the next trial. So when the item is selected, you take it out of the trial. You want to give us basically the same amount of opportunities for the child to select the items, okay? Here, what you're seeing is that when they were able to count the times in which the item was selected, you saw the item C was the most selected. Okay, it was selected actually 3 times. Okay, and what I like about this breakdown, it actually creates or provides you that the highest preferred item here, so it lets you know what that is. So item C, which is water wiggly, and the moderately, which is the midpoint, is the item B, which is spinner toy, and item D, toy friend, which is 2, and lowest preferred was item A, which is the push toy. Okay. So if you're going to be running this particular type of preference assessment, you're working with staff, you're working with parents, I think it's really important to also train and teach parents how to do this. You can use video modeling, which obviously is available for you, or you can use role play and feedback. And you all aware it's the behavioral skills training, the BSC model, right? Incorporate that within your training model. Okay. So what we're going to do next, we're going to actually watch the video together, and we're going to analyze these steps once again. All right, welcome back here to the video portion of this particular lecture here or lesson on parent choice preference assessment. We're going to watch a video model together. This is video number 96. If you want to watch this video independently, basically if you want to use it for training purposes, you can. It's available for you at video 96 called parent choice preference assessment. We're going to watch this video. We're going to analyze and break it down together. Okay, so before we started this whole procedure, provide any instruction, you already see there that I'm sitting right across from the student. I have a clipboard there. And here it's going to be basically the setting itself. They mentioned that you can do the preference assessment on the floor, on the table, whatever is best and more convenient for you when you're working with the child. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit play here. We're gonna see what the next step is. All right, Edward, pick one. Okay, very straightforward. I said, all right, Edward, pick one. Okay, so here once again, the instruction has to be consistent. It has to be very simple. It has to be pick one. Okay, so don't forget that if you're working in the field, if you have staff members or people that are not, that are using too many words, basically, you want to make sure you give them some feedback, because this particular process needs to be very simple instructions when you're delivering it. Okay. Okay, so Edward picks the car, so that's great. He is allowed to play with the car a couple of seconds, or very soon I'm going to say, hey, can you return it please, or my turn. And basically that's what it is. You want to allow the child to interact with the item. If it's an edible, you might give the child a chance to taste the item. Okay. My turn. Okay, so the item that was not picked in the prior trial was the red Lego, okay, the little red Lego block. So that right there is the item that's going to remain in the next trial. So that's what you're going to notice in the upcoming trials, is that the item that's not picked stays in the field, stays in the particular process that you're going to be presenting over and over in the next trial, basically. And one of the errors that I'm going to make, to be honest with you, and this is something I want to emphasize, is the aspect that I did not switch the Lego. It's very important that you want to switch the side of the Lego. So if the child does not pick the Lego when it's on the right side in that one trial, in the following trial, you keep the Lego, but you switch it over to the left side, or the opposite side, which it was not in the prior trial. Very important observation there. You're going to see me make that mistake a couple times. Don't make that mistake if you're the staff or you're the one implementing it. It is very important to switch over, because you may have the bias of the child picking one particular side. Okay, so you want to make sure we remove that possibility by switching the item over to the opposite side. Okay. So Edward picks the ducky. Okay.
Very good. Awesome. All right, my turn.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce the following trial. So once again, the instruction currently has been consistent. It's been very much pick one. That's what it is. He has to make sure it's a very consistent pattern in which you're delivering instruction. If you're a parent, if you're once again your staff member working in the field, you want to make sure you're consistent in the way in which you're providing the instruction for the next trial. Okay.
Pick one. Pick one. Yeah.
Okay, so finally he picked the Lego. Once again, my mistake, my error. It's good to, when I always told my staff member when I'm working, I'm supervising the field, errors are okay, mistakes are fine. It's one of those things where you just have to make sure you learn from them and you're able to be better. So in this particular situation, yes, my feedback is I should have switched it over to the side. Hopefully, since you hear me repeating this so many times, you will not make that same mistake when you're implementing the pair choice. But once again, this is a video that's available for you, for your staff, for parents. It's for training purposes, lecture purposes, whatever you want to use it for. This video is available for you. Please don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to give us some likes. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell. We have videos every week for you. Videos that are available once again for clinicians, for people that want to learn about the field. And we do it once again with the passion, the heart to provide and contribute something to this phenomenal field of behavior analysis. Y'all have a good one.